Hi, it's Beverleigh here over at Crafty Chaos, and I'm here with another video on how to create in Canvas Workspace. And in this time, what we're going to create is a custom fill for your words. As you know, on the Brother Scan and Cut there is a fill function, but it's very limited to a solid fill, and I think there's 3 patterns to choose from. Using this method, you can create your own background that's bespoke to your word. Get the Brother Scan and Cut when you're doing it to do that as a fill, and then cut your word out. This would work also with shapes. So let's get to it. Right, this is what we're trying to achieve. I've got the word friend on my mat. I'm just going to increase the size so that we can see it a little bit better. And it is actually 2 words, one that's been knocked out and the other one that's a solid behind. So if I click on the pink section, so you can see it's pink because the flood fills pink, it's set to drawing line and the fill function is checked. Now if I just drag that off just temporarily, you can see that that's the bit that's like the sort of fill, if you will, the bespoke fill pattern. Now I'm just going to undo that, then I'm going to click on the area where it's black to get that part of the file, and we can see that that's set to a cutting line, and if I move that to one side you can see that that's going to cut out the word friend. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. So that's what we're trying to achieve in this tutorial. So let's get to it. Okay, so now I'm going to go to a new page, and that's okay for me to leave because I have already saved this project. The first thing we're going to need to do is locate an image that we can create our background from. So what I'm going to do is click onto this file here. I've been on Pixabay and I've searched pattern background, selected one that I quite liked that looks a little bit like, I would say, a zebra or a zebra print. And we can see that the download information is here. It's free for commercial use, no attribution required. So I know that copyright wise we're quite within the realms of keeping in the faith of copyright to use this image. So we're going to click free download. I'm going to choose a middle-sized image and download. So that will download it to my machine. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Click save. And then we're good to go. So now we can go back to Canvas Workspace. Now the image we've got is a JPEG. So we now need to convert that by using the trace function. So we click trace, which is the leaf icon. Choose the file. Go to the background we selected and open. Okay, that's going to put that file on my desktop. I'm then going to reduce the colours down to 2 and click preview. So it's just taking a little bit of time, and you can see on the whole it's traced that very nicely for us with the turquoise bounding boxes going round. You can see there are a couple of areas here that haven't traced, and that's primarily because they're actually separated from these other areas, which is just one path. So I'm quite happy to have that as my background image because we're going to duplicate it and weld anyway to get the image big enough. So now I'm going to say OK. I don't need the image placed on the workspace because I just want to work with the file. So I'm going to click no, and then that will load onto my desktop. So what I need to do now is a couple of things. I just want to see what we've actually got traced. Now that's a big section of the file that's been traced. That's separate, so we need to delete those because what we're looking for is a complete path. And actually I'm quite happy just to work with that part of the file because I think that will give us enough of a background. Next thing I'm going to do is just shrink it down a little bit to make it easier to work with. So I'm going to shrink it down, and then I'm going to hit D on my keyboard to duplicate the image. I'm then going to drag it close to the one besides, line them up at the top so I know the level, and click edit and weld, making sure that I must have something not quite overlapped. So we'll try it again at this side. We're going to go edit and weld. That should weld our 2 pieces together, which it has done. Now Now that we've done that, we can repeat that by saying D on our keyboard. Then we need to move that one off to the side, line it up with the file next to it so that it's overlapping slightly. You can do the line up if you wish, and then do edit and weld. Okay, so that's welded those together. Finally, I'm going to do that once more, and I'll show you the other way to duplicate is edit, and it's this icon for duplicate. It does the same thing as D on your keyboard, and we're going to overlap the two. So we need to select both, and then we're going to go edit and weld for a final time. Now we've got one welded file, and although it doesn't look particularly great on the screen as it is, because we're looking just for something to make our fill onto our word or our shape, it's going to work fine for what we want it for. The next thing to do is to bring up a word. I'm going to use a nice chunky font, works best. Now you can use the onboard fonts that are stored in Canvas Workspace, or you could use a font from your computer using the Brother Type Converter, which I've already done a video on how to get a word in from Type Converter. You'd just bring that in, and then you would follow the same steps that I'm going to show you now. So now I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to type, I think we'll go with the word fun. So I'm going to click in that space, delete the text, and write the word fun. And I think I'll do it in capitals just to make it stand out. Now, all I need to do now is I'm going to move that off to the side, and I'm going to fill it with a colour. So I'm going into View and Show Properties. This is the fill icon, and I'm going to select a colour. There's not really any reason why, just so that you can see better what you're doing. I'm then going to duplicate that by clicking D on my keyboard. Okay, this step is very important if you're going to make sure that your cutting file is directly on top of your drawing file, if you will. So we've got at the moment 2 files with the word fun, and they are both cutting and drawing lines, and I'm going to select them both, edit and line them up centrally, and edit, line them up on the horizontal axis, so one file is directly on top of the other. I'm then going to change the colour of the top one, and I've changed it to purple. So I know the purple one now is the drawing line, and I'm going to set that as the drawing line and the fill function. Okay, we'll deal with the rest later. So what I need to do is drag them both onto the mat, and they need to be behind the other file, so behind this one. And just so you can see this one, I'm going to fill that with a colour so you can see what's going on. Now I want to position this file so that it's going to give me, if you look, what's behind it now is what's going to appear on the actual words. And I could have probably got away with just doing the welding the first row and leaving that one off, but it depends on the size of the word. So I'm going to put it there and see what it looks like there. I think that's going to be fine. I've just moved that, so I need to undo. But now I need to make sure that this file is on top, so I'm going to click that, edit, and bring to the very top. So now my fun has gone underneath. Now, because this is an open file, I can actually still click on that purple, remember that's my drawing line, underneath, and I'm going to hold my shift key down and click on my pattern, and then I'm going to go edit and process overlap, and I want to go on remove overlapped. So click that, and the computer's thinking about it. Now when I move that away, you can see that we've got that pattern now on the words, if you will. So I'm just going to zoom in on the word so you can see what's happening. Now move the box off to the side because we don't really need the pattern anymore. But remember, we made the pink area, the pink area, the bright fuchsia pink area, I believe we made that the drawing and the fill. So that's what we've got there. So if I move that out, that's what we've got. I'm going to edit and undo that. If we click on a pink part of that, we can see that that's still a cutting or drawing line. I'm now going to make that a dedicated cutting line, but notice they're still perfectly lined up. Now if I move the pink one, you can see that's what would cut eventually, and put that back. If I move that one, you can see that's what's going to draw and fill, and I'm going to undo that now just to get them back lined up. Now what you don't want to do is group them. You want to leave them one stacked on top of the other before you save the file. So I've got one fun stacked on top of the other. I can bring that on and save it with my file if I wish, because that will enable me to do other words with that. Sorry, oops, don't know what happened there. I think I just clicked something on my mouse. So I'm going to bring it onto my mat, and also the pattern, because that will mean that I can use that pattern again if I wanted to do another shape with that pattern. Okay, so that's how it's looking. So then you give it a project title, and I'm just going to type the word fun with fill, fun, fill, because that's what we've done, and save that to my projects. When that's complete, you could then download the file in the usual way. So click download, or you could transfer it via your Wi-Fi if you've got that option. Unfortunately for me, I have to download it to my PC and then put it on a memory stick, purely because if I plug my memory stick in through the converter that I've got for my MacBook, because I've got the regular sized USBs and the MacBook takes a different sized connection. For some reason, when I plug that in, it interferes with my Wi-Fi signal and I'm not able to download. So I download it and then put it onto my stick. It's just a workaround for me. But you could probably just download it straight to your memory stick if that's applicable to you and you haven't got the Wi-Fi function. So I'll download that now, and I'll see you soon when I go to show you how this file comes out when you fill and then cut. Right, I hope this video has been helpful and shown you another aspect what you can use your Scan and Cut Canvas workspace for. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment box below. If this video has helped you and you've learnt anything from it, please like, share and subscribe. But to my channel, I also have a blog where I leave free files for you to download in FCM format for direct cutting on your machines. If you're interested, click the blog link. Until next time, bye for now.